everybody. I am, well, okay, let me back up. I was talking to a close friend and they were asking me about some tips about the Super Bowl because I know Super Bowl is coming up and if I've ever gone to Disney on Super Bowl Sunday. And my question to them was, yes, I have. So I'm going to give some tips on how to navigate Walt Disney World property on Super Bowl Sunday and also the day after if you are wanting to go to the parade. I personally have done both. I went 2 years ago and it was quite funny because whenever we went, I completely forgot Super Bowl was even going on. And so surprisingly enough, Disney goes normal Disney operations all throughout Super Bowl Sunday. So if you are not a football person, people say that the parks are really packed. Reality, they are not. They are not packed at all. Billy and I went to Magic Kingdom to it was about 7 o'clock that night, and we had the park all to ourselves. Right after that, we ended up going to a Disney Vacation Club resort, and we hung out in the community center area. So each Disney Vacation Club resort, there's 9 of them, has a community hall, and that is a great place for a family to go and watch the game. They have big televisions, there's games, there's video technology for kids if they don't want to be submerged into the game. So we went over to Old Key West and we watched part of the game. It was like the halftime area. So we watched part of the game and then we ended up just going back to our resort. But I did want to mention some of the locations on property that can be quite busy and you can also pay a ton of money for. So first I'm going to say ESPN. So there's 2 ESPNs on property. There is ESPN Worldwide Sports Center, and then there's ESPN Club. So you are not the only one who thinks that they're going to go hang out at Epcot and then right after Epcot sneak over the back part of International Garden and walk over to ESPN to go watch the game. They will have a line. You also will be paying top dollar to be able to watch the Super Bowl at that location. So they actually have 2 packages. The first package is watching the Super Bowl on the sidelines, and the other one is called hold on, I just lost Super Bowl Central and Super Bowl Sideline. So you have to make reservations for both of those options. They are $100, starting out at $100 a piece. That is not including food or beverages. That's just getting your foot in the door. And yeah, so if you really want to be in part of that, by all means, go for it. But you will be turned away if you do not get there early or if you do not have one of these packages. The second location that is extremely packed is Splitsville, and that is at Disney Springs. So Splitsville is a very fun atmosphere that has an outside bar area, and it's almost, I think there's like 10 or 12 TVs all along that area. There's usually like a live band that's playing. And inside that location, there's a bowling alley. So that location is going to be the number 1 place that Disney will recommend for families to go that you will not have to pay out of pocket. But it is extremely hard to get in. So if you are wanting to go into that atmosphere and stay at Splitsville, get there early, have a reservation. Otherwise, you will get turned away as well. Another fun location to go to, which I have experienced, is Planet Hollywood. So Disney Springs before the Super Bowl is going to be a ghost town. Usually about an hour to an hour and a half before the game will start, people will start showing up. That's going to be the number 1 area that people will go and park, because that area you do not pay for parking. Everywhere else on property, you pay for parking, whether if it's at a resort or at a park. So if you're driving in and you're staying off property, or maybe you're a Florida resident and you're new to the area, definitely make sure that you get there early if you're wanting to go down to Disney Springs. If you're wanting just to shop and hang out, this is not the day to go. I would highly recommend either doing it in the morning if that's your only day to do it, or pick another day to experience that that setting. But obviously, I shouldn't have to say this, but obviously your room is going to be the quietest location if you're really wanting to watch the game and just peace and quiet. And then also, you're more than welcome to ask your resort that you're staying at. 9 times out of 10, they're going to have some type of fun activity for you to do at the park or at their resort. So another big resort that's going to be popular is going to be All Star Sports. So they actually have a full screen, almost like a movie screen on property that they will have. I think 2 years ago they had characters there from what I heard. But this area is going to be very busy. So if you're staying at All Star Sports during the Super Bowl, please be aware that you are going to be dealing with a lot of people that day. So if you're trying to navigate to your room, I would highly suggest learning a back route and not just going into the front area trying to get to your room. All-Star Sport, All-Star Movie, and All-Star Music, it's all connected in one way, shape, or form. So if you're wanting to avoid this, I would highly recommend going to another All-Star, walking over to the back part to get to your room. Therefore, you don't have to deal with the front crowd because there will be a lot of people at that location. All three of those is a value resort. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to be packed either way. And anyone that are staying at any of those 3 resorts are going to head over to All-Star Sports to watch the game. Especially if they can't get into ESPN Club on the boardwalk. So those are my tips of the Super Bowl, navigating the Super Bowl at Walt Disney World. Again, if you are not a football person like me, you are not a football person, stay at the parks, enjoy the parks. It's going to be less crowded. You're going to be able to get on some great rides for low wait times. Disney's still up and operated. Look and see what magic hours are going on that night. It's just going to be a normal night for them. So cast members will be there. They'll be ready to entertain and spread magic. So definitely look into seeing what options you have. And be flexible because you never know what type of magic is going to be coming your way. They always love sending magic whenever you're at the park. So definitely be flexible. So now I'm going to switch over to the day after the Super Bowl. So that Monday. So whoever wins, whoever gets the MVP is what it's called, I think. Yeah. They are going to be at Magic Kingdom. So you have a Super Bowl parade at Magic Kingdom. And I have actually experienced that. It was a little crazy. So I'm going to give you some tips to navigate that. So you're not coming into it out of just what the heck did I just do? So the parade is always right before the 3 p.m. parade, fantasy parade. So look on look on the app and double check the time frame of fantasy parade. And you're going to know that it's going to be 30 to 40 minutes before that parade. So do not get there first thing in the morning and think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to see it. No, it's going to be in the afternoon. It's going to be right before the 3 o'clock parade. The best location, Billy and I tested this out. So the best location is going to be right underneath the train station. So what you do is you find out what time the parade is. Usually it's 3 o'clock. You estimate about an hour before that, and that's whenever you're going to enter into the park. So if you can get there about an hour before the 3 o'clock parade, an hour and a half, 3 o'clock parade, and you go hang out at the train station, you're going to walk in, go to the Okay, so both sides are going to be opened. People always go to the left hand. So you're going to go right to get in faster. And then you're going to be able to go right in the entryway because you have 2 entries and get right to where guest relations is at Town Hall. So you're going to be on the far left-hand side of the train station. And then you'll be able to see the float with Mickey and whoever the MVP player is come around, and then they're going to exit right next to the Emporium. And there's like a little popcorn station. It basically looks like it's just an empty gate, and that's where they're going to exit. So you're at the very end of the parade route. Through after it ends, I mean, it's a very quick second kind of thing that happens. You will have the 3 p.m. parade come through. Right after that, everybody leaves. 9 times out of 10, everybody's done because they've already been there all day waiting for whoever it is to come through. And you have the whole park to yourself. It is very easy to navigate. What Billy and I do, we head over to Adventureland and we work our way backwards. Because as human nature, when you walk in, you always go right. Well, if you walk in, you go left, you're going to have a ghost town in the park, which is amazing because then you're able to go right Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Pirates, and you'll have very low of a wait. Also set up your fast passes so that way you don't have much of a wait to even deal with at that point. So you definitely want to try and do Peter Pan or Seven Dwarf Mine Train. I would say about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock time frame for your fast passes for that route. That way you're able to get through the parade, both parades, the Super Bowl parade and also the 3 o'clock parade, fantasy parade. And then you're able to just kind of work your way around. So that's kind of how we have dealt and accomplished Super Bowl. So if you guys have ever gone on Super Bowl Sunday or even that Monday after and see the parade, let me know your experiences. Tell me what your tricks or your tips are. I would love to hear them. And if you are wanting to plan a magical trip, I am all ears and ready to help for you. Just call me your dream director. And as always, I will always be around to answer your questions. And I hope you guys have a magical night. So I will talk to you later. Bye for now.